What's going on, people? Welcome back to Nick J. Francis' channel. I've been off sick for a couple of weeks, but we are back with another match reaction. Immediate reaction to games just finished. Arsenal beat Newcastle United 2-0 at home. Another comprehensive victory. We knew coming off the Liverpool game, 10 games unbeaten before that, we had to get back to winning ways. That's what we've done. A bit of a worry in the first half. It seems like at the moment we can only really play 45 minutes of good football. In the Liverpool game, it was obviously the first 45 minutes that we played quite well, and then we let it slip. And in this game, it was the first 45 minutes were horrible, and the second 45 minutes we took it up a level. So, you know, there's definitely room for improvement. We need to start getting 90 minutes of good, intense football. The negatives are that the first 45 minutes and a bit in the second half as well was very, very slow, very lethargic. When I was looking at the game plan, first of all, I knew what every single person's job was. I could see what the game plan was. I could see what they were trying to do. I could see how Arteta had set them out, except Aubameyang. Completely confused as to what Aubameyang was doing in terms of what was the game plan for him. Was he meant to drop deep and create some link up? We had both our number 10s on the pitch, Odegaard and Smith Rowe. So what we're going to need is somebody to do the sort of Aaron Ramsey role of like a third man in, a third man runner, which is like a midfield runner running on. So if you think of the Jack Wilshere goal famously against Norwich, where you're going to play a 1-2 with the striker, play yourself in behind, and then you can go and get a goal. There was none of that sort of link-up play. He barely got a shot. And as a result, you know what it's like when you play football. He's very, very cold. He's barely in the game. He's freezing cold. And so when the one chance does drop to him that Saka creates for Smith Rowe gets a header, it falls to Aubameyang. There's a man on the line, but it's almost an open goal. He hits it off the outside of the post. And I think a lot of that is not because he's finished or he's washed or whatever the Twitter comments are going to say. I think a lot of that is because he's cold. He's not worked his way into the game at all. And he is completely cold. And we need to find a way to get this guy into the game. There were times when he was running in behind and I could see him point in for where he wanted the ball from the number 10 or from the midfielder. But from my perspective, what I was seeing, there wasn't any room for that pass. He was crowded by 4, sometimes 5 players, maybe even with a John Joe Shelby sitting in front of the back 4, sometimes 6 players all around him. It would be an unbelievable miracle ball to get through to him. And I think that lack of movement and that lack of link-up play from Aubameyang filters back into the team, and that's why we're playing so slow. Saka's all the way out on the touchline. We get the ball wide to him. We get the ball wide to Tomiyasu. We get the ball wide to Saka. He looks up, and it's down to individual ability. Can he beat the man or not? And if he can't, or if he doesn't fancy it at that moment in time, we go back to Tomiyasu and we go back to Partey. And it just got a little bit boring, a little bit tedious, and a little bit slow. And we gave them opportunities to start pressing us and to start coming out and trying to win the ball off of us. Second half was much better. We played with a little bit more intensity, certainly in the first sort of 10-15 minutes of the second half. And it was that boy, Bukayo Saka, getting a goal. Finally, we played some, Arsenal-style link-up play. We put together a triangle with Nuno Tavares, Smith Rowe, and Saka. We know Smith Rowe and Saka have incredible chemistry, but Nuno Tavares just knowing where Saka's going to be again. Saka had to leave. That goal came from the left-hand side, and Saka was playing right wing. He had to come all the way over to the other side of the pitch for them to link up and create this triangle. And the problem that we had is that we played Odegaard and Smith Rowe today, which is good. I like seeing them both in the team. But Smith Rowe is out on the left and Saka is out on the right, and they need to be closer together. They score goals and create for each other. Look at the Tottenham game. Look at the Villa game. They help each other out so much. We need to get these guys really, really close together. The commentators were saying that they can see a lot of different partnerships building up. We've seen that with Gabriel and White. It's really contentious at the moment. Who's the partnership going to be with Tomiyasu on that right flank? But one of the key partnerships in our team is Smith Rowe and Bukayo Saka. So having them on opposite wings completely does away with that. So I think that's a mistake that Arteta made. But once we came out with the intensity, we were able to get that first goal. And then shortly after that, Saka pulls up with an injury. He pulled up once or twice, looked really, really uncomfortable. Didn't look like anything too serious, maybe cramp, maybe a strain, but it's probably best to get him off. We've got a really busy December coming up with lots of games, so definitely get him off. And I was WhatsApping my friends through the game, as you do, and we were talking about who's going to come on, and I was saying not Pepe, not Pepe. I thought maybe Lacazette comes on at that point and Aubameyang goes wide, or something like that, which is typically what Arteta tends to do. And we saw Martinelli's name go up. We saw number 35 go up, and my whole group chat started roaring. We're absolutely over the moon. Martinelli comes on, and as Martinelli comes on, his second touch of the ball, Tomiyasu plays the ball over the top, and he runs, hits it on the volley, past Dubravka into the goal. And, you know, my group chat erupted. We've been calling, us Arsenal fans have been calling for him for so long to come and play. I've been battling with Man United fans about who's better, who's got a higher ceiling, you know, is he up there with the Greenwoods and this type of thing. And they're saying to me, well, he can't be that good, he's not getting any game time. And I'm saying, listen, as soon as this guy comes and starts playing regular football, I promise you, this guy's got such a high ceiling. He's got so much ability. You guys are going to see about Gabriel Martinelli. And all of us Arsenal fans must have been so over the moon, like I was when that goal went in, second touch. And it's not really a slap in the face for Arteta, because obviously Arteta was the one that brought him on. But hopefully this is the kind of thing we see. We see him getting more and more game time, because we need that. Like I say, if Martinelli can get more game time on the left wing, where I really like him, running in behind and causing problems. He has a good defensive work rate as well. I think him and Tavares, maybe not now, but in the future, will be a really good partnership. They're both a little bit rash, you know, and both a little bit over-eager sometimes, but I think those two's energy on the left wing could be a nightmare for teams. And that means that Smith Rowe can get back into the number 10 spot, back central where I think he's the best, and back to creating good link-up play with Bukayo Saka. So, you know, overall, it was a good day at the office. It was a really slow day at the office. And, you know, if we play against teams that you know, Newcastle's stone bottom. So, you know, it's good, 2-0. The youngsters are scoring. Martinelli gets on the score sheet. Aaron Ramsdale, another unbelievable performance. You know, he wasn't in the game loads, but there were 2 or 3 chances. You know, one of them particularly from a free kick, and from a strike from John Joe Shelvey. It wasn't a free kick, sorry. The ball's fallen to Shelvey on the edge of the box. He picks his spot really well, and Ramsdale just tips it onto the crossbar, continuing to keep clean sheets. I think that's 6 clean sheets he's got so far this season, or certainly 6 in the last the most recent run that we've been on. I think it is six this season. Really composed. He played some football at the back today. You know, a little bit risky. It always puts you on edge when they do that, but you know, I just feel so comfortable with him in goal. Even though he plays a riskier style of football than Leno, I do feel much more comfortable with him in goal than Leno, which is bizarre, because, you know, we thought Leno was the second coming when he was in goal for us. We always said he's a great shot stopper, but not great with his feet. But this Aaron Ramsdale guy just seems to be, you know, doing unbelievable things. Seems to be so confident. Seems to have really good chemistry. Another good game for Ben White. Ben White carrying the ball out. When he's carrying the ball out, though, we need to shift position. What happens is everybody stands in the same position and doesn't react. So he just walks into a wall of our own players. They need to shift out. You know, what he's doing when he walks the ball out is he's adding an extra man to our attack, and we don't really utilise it because we don't move away from him. We just stand still, and then he just does a 1 yard pass to the man next to him, and the walkout was a little bit pointless. I think Sky Sports awarded, or BT Sports, sorry, awarded the man of the match to Saka, and Saka played really well. You know, I don't have a huge argument against that. But for me, Tomiyasu, I think Tomiyasu would be my man of the match. First half, he was really sharp. He was one of the better players in the flat part of the game. He got the assist for Martinelli's goal. He was involved in most of the good attacks that we put together, and he was also really good defensively as well. There was, you know, a run where, you know, one of the few times they did break through, he managed to deal with St. Maximum once or twice. You know, and St. Maximum is a really difficult player to handle, and we've seen Tomiyasu struggle with like Son and people that are really fast and really direct. And St. Maximin is definitely fast and definitely direct. But he done well against him today, and I just liked what he did, both defensively and attacking wise. And so for me, I would give Tomiyasu man of the match. That's my man of the match personally. But again, you know, it's great for Bukayo Saka. We all love Bukayo Saka, you know, and that's who BT Sport chose to go with. Nuno Tavares today was, shooting like Thomas Partey. He had loads and loads of shots, and I think the game was just a little bit flat, and he thought, why not? He's obviously got an opportunity with a little run of games while KT's been out to solidify himself in this left-back position, and I don't think he'd done anything too wrong necessarily. There was a shout for a potential penalty on Callum Wilson, which I think he was a bit lucky to get away with. Other than that, I like his enthusiasm. I appreciate that he's young and he's over-eager. He desperately wants to make his mark on this team. But he's there to push KT all the way, and Tierney's there to sort of be a senior player to him. And that's what it will be, because they're both, really, really good. I think Kieran Tierney is a top quality left back, and I think Nuno Tavares is not a top quality left back yet. But you can absolutely see, the engine on him. He was, Newcastle burst through our line really late on in the game, like 87th minute or something like that, and he ran all the way back to make a recovery challenge. He'd done it a couple of times. His ability to get up and down the pitch is crazy for the full 90, and I think when Martinelli is fully fit, I would really like to see a Nuno Tavares, Gabriel Martinelli left side, and but then he played on the right today and he got a goal as well. So maybe, I think Tavares and Tomiyasu as the fullbacks and Saka and Martinelli as the wingers. That's going to be the future. Whichever way round it goes, there seems to be good chemistry on both sides. But that's something that I'd really like to see when they're a little bit more embedded in the team. I think, people will say it's only Newcastle, let's not go over the top, and that's true. But we still have to remember that five of our starting 11 today were brand new players that we signed in January. So they're still getting to know each other. They're still getting to know the Premier League, a lot of these players. Newcastle is a somewhat established Premier League team, albeit not a top quality Premier League team. And so the physicality was there. I think Gabriel done a good job with Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson is a seasoned Premier League player, good striker, very strong, and put up a lot of fight against Gabriel today. And Gabriel just didn't look massively comfortable, but he managed to do a job. He managed to be physical. He managed to hold him off as best as possible. And in these situations, that's all you can ask for, really. But yeah, that's all from me, really, on the game. I thought really professional performance. Again, that's what we want. Back to the norm. And we need to put together another run. I think having Kieran Tierney not playing, having Pepe not playing, Lacazette coming on late and doing a cameo. Look, it's not the end of the world. There's going to be so many games over the Christmas period. We know that December and January are a nightmare, and it's really, really important that we have a fully fit squad. We play Manchester United next. They've got a change of manager, just like Newcastle's had a change of manager, and you normally expect to see that change of manager bounce. Obviously, Man United have a hell of a lot more quality than Newcastle do, and they're just much, much better overall. But it could be a game where we see Pepe. We've seen Pepe give Luke Shaw absolute nightmares before, nutmegging him and turning him, and Luke Shaw just doesn't seem to like playing against Pepe. Pepe seems out of favour. Maybe it looks like he gets sold in January, but we're going to need to rotate at times, especially with Saka picking up strains and different people picking up muscle injuries and different things like that. So, let's see what happens. Let's see the kind of team that we go with. I thought the changes were really, really good from Arteta. Like I say, I wasn't massively keen on Smith Rowe being on the left. I think that harmed us a little bit. But the changes he made in-game, taking the captain off, Aubameyang, and bringing on Lacazette when he did, very, very poor day at the office for Aubameyang today, and it takes some balls. We've seen people before that wouldn't take off the captain, and it all becomes a bit ceremonial and stuff. So I like what the manager did today. Any mistakes that he might have made in the starting 11, he rectified during the game, and that guided us. He really managed us to a 2-0 win. So like I say, we've got Manchester United next. Let's see what happens there. If we can beat Manchester United, not only will that be beating a top 6 team, which we've struggled with this season apart from Spurs, but it also is gaining points on a real top 4 contender. For me, I want the target for this season to be top 6 and getting back into European football. Top 4 would be an absolute dream. But given the position that we're in, we're joint on points at the moment with West Ham. They obviously still have to play. But taking any points away from top 6 rivals and also top 4 rivals will be huge for us. So that's all I've got today. Let me know what you thought. Like I say, Saka, they gave Saka man of the match. I give it to Tomiyasu. Let me know who you think is man of the match, and give me some score predictions for Manchester United as well. And I'm going to try and get out a match preview and prediction before that. and then a match reaction after that as well. So yeah, drop some comments, drop a like, share the video, and let's keep it going. Another great win for Arsenal.